If you've been sharing profound wisdom online, iconic products, or incredible art, and you have some super fans, but overall it just feels like no one notices and your brilliance is somehow invisible, then this video is for you. Most people will tell you that you just need better branding, better copy, better sales psychology, but I'm here to tell you that none of those things address the real reason you're staying invisible. And because none of them address the underlying problem, none of them are going to work. But you've already discovered that, haven't you? The problem that keeps you feeling like you're under literally an invisibility cloak is that deep down, it doesn't feel safe to be seen. In fact, it feels dangerous. And because of that, without knowing it, you have turned off your magnetism. The very thing that makes people stop scrolling and listen to you, or makes people see your product and want to go and check it out. Now, I know the word magnetism might sound a little vague, so don't worry. In this video, I'm going to unpack practically what I mean by that. Hi, if we haven't met before, I'm Alex Harvey. I help female leaders building soul-led businesses to access their true genius, what it is they're here to share with the world, and live, lead, and create in their lives from their feminine nature, which for women, this is our superpower. I recently published a best-selling book, Be Unacceptable, and if you love this video, you are going to adore this book. Let's dive in. Babe, I know what it's like to feel invisible. Not only feel invisible, but literally be invisible, where people don't remember having met you before, and it sucks. As a child, I unconsciously mastered the art of being invisible, putting out an invisible energy field so that people wouldn't notice me and I would stay safe from judgment, criticism, or attack. As I got older, I started to have this experience that literally people would not remember me that I had met before, but they would remember other people that I was with. And I used to think, how am I this invisible? Until I eventually learned how to turn my energy back on. And when I would turn my energy back on, the opposite thing would start to happen. People would notice me that I had never even met. People would come up to me at parties and tell me that they've seen me somewhere and introduce themselves to me. Or people that I didn't recognize at all would just come up to me and say, I know that I've seen you somewhere. And this was like a 180 shift for me. From being literally the person people wouldn't remember and feeling so much shame about that, to becoming an it girl, to becoming someone that stood out, that people noticed, that people wanted to go up and meet and talk to. This was a crazy difference. Before I share with you exactly how I turned my energy back on and my magnetism back on, I want to briefly share with you a little bit more about how this showed up for me in business, because this is probably going to relate a lot to where you are right now. When I first started my coaching business back in 2015, I desperately wanted to be seen and noticed. On the surface, I felt like I was fully going for and fighting for and wanting visibility. But no matter what I did, I felt like all I got was crickets, and that someone else next to me doing exactly the same thing from the exact same starting point would be seen, and I actually experienced that. Women that I was in programs alongside in those early stages of my business, popping off, getting noticed, growing their platforms, while no one seemed to notice what I was putting out there and the valuable gold of the wisdom I was sharing. What I didn't realize at the time was subconsciously I didn't feel like it was safe to be seen. So I was doing all these little things that I didn't even realize to sabotage visibility, like hiding out in planning or researching rather than posting and going to events and talking to people, or trying to sound like an authority in the content that I put out there, and disconnecting from my heart, from my soul, from my emotion, which is what connects with people, because I actually wasn't comfortable being seen in who I was. So I would go into this performance and this persona. And something else that I didn't realize I was doing, but I always did, was that I would stop being consistent. So I would never post consistently. I wouldn't stick at nailing one message and one offer and becoming known for that. I'd try one thing and then I would stop. Fundamentally, feeling invisible is because you put out an energetic field that makes you invisible, that makes you shrink back and blend into the wall. So even if you are taking a lot of the same actions that you see someone else is taking, if your energy is turned off, there is no energy behind it. People can't feel you. So So it doesn't attract, it doesn't grab on, it doesn't magnetize. It's like kind of dead. I thought I was doing everything I could to be seen and put my work out there. I came to discover the part of me that was terrified of being judged, criticized, made wrong, and that if I exposed myself, not just this dead persona that I was putting out there, if I actually exposed myself, people would see how wrong and bad I was, or that I would even become the target for attack. And honestly, it's so common for women to feel like it's not safe to be fully seen as they are. Once I discovered this was what was going on for me, I was committed to breaking this unconscious pattern. And now I've written a best-selling book. I got endorsements on that book I couldn't believe I got. I have never in my life felt more seen for the unique genius that I bring to the world and that I share through my work. And I want you to experience that too, because you do have an incredible genius, gifts, things that you've created to share with the world, and they should be seen, and they can be seen, and they will be seen when you learn how to turn your energy back on, turn your magnetism back on, and take off that literal invisibility shield that you put out for safety. I want you to do a little test. I want you to imagine that suddenly, overnight, you now have 50,000 followers on your main social media platform. And if you already have 50,000 followers, imagine the next level for you. And these people are now seeing you as you are right now. Your life, who you are, the way you're living, who you're being, they're seeing that right now. You've got this many people with eyeballs on you. What's the sensation that you're feeling in your body as you imagine that? Imagine catching up with those people as you usually do and telling them that you've got this many followers. How do you feel in your body? What's the thoughts? What's the feelings? If you literally imagine this happening to you now, not some fantasy in the future, but now. If you're honest, I'm gonna guess that in some ways, this feels pretty uncomfortable. And it feels uncomfortable because you don't feel safe to be fully seen in who you are, in your brilliance, shining in that brilliance, having success in that brilliance, possibly because of what those people might think about you that are now following you, how you might be judged, criticized, rejected, or what you think your family and friends might think about you and whether they think you deserve it. Now, healing your visibility, invisibility wound is deep work that I do with my clients. It's not something that happens overnight, but in this video, I want to give you 6 things that you can start practicing and implementing right now that are going to take you out of that invisible energy and take you into your it girl energy that naturally attracts attention and has your brilliance be seen. So let's dive in. Number 1 is to crown yourself. Most women are waiting for someone to come in and tell them that they're brilliant and tell them that they have permission now to take up this much space. But the truth is, you crown yourself. It's on you to own, claim, and share what it is that you have to offer. So I want you to imagine that you already had the validation of 100,000 followers and earning $100,000 per month from what you're doing. Because right now, you're not owning your brilliance to that level because you unconsciously believe you need more external validation in order to be allowed to, in order to even have permission to. But the opposite is true. You own it first, you share it first, you claim it first, and that's how it can then be seen by others. You have to know who you are and unapologetically be that woman before the world catches up to that. This is something that I talk about more in my book, Be Unacceptable. So if you want to hear me dive deeper into this, go and check out that book. Step number 2 is to make yourself a big deal. In your vision for yourself, your life, and your work, I'm gonna bet you're a big deal. You see yourself being a big deal. You see yourself being on stages or getting book deals or being invited onto interviews or being published in magazines. But you dare not act like you're that big of a deal right now. right? Because who does she think she is? How dare she? You think you have to wait for those sort of opportunities to come to you first, for you to get offered a book deal, for someone to invite you onto the interview, for people to request things of you. You believe that others need to make you a big deal to be a big deal. But again, the opposite is true. You have to make yourself a big deal. You have to claim the level of change that you're here to implement in the world. You have to claim that you're a movement maker, that your products are going to change the industry in this way, or your modality and your wisdom is going to change that industry in this way. You have to act like you're the big deal that you see yourself being in the vision now. This is huge in being seen by people, because people are not going to see what you're not showing. Number 3 is to turn on your feminine energy. One of the ways that you can turn your energy back on is by turning on your feminine energy. Remember, when you're feeling invisible, your energy is shut down. That's why people aren't noticing you, why people aren't feeling you, why you literally seem invisible. Now, feminine energy is largely misunderstood. It's got nothing to do with baking, florals, or dresses. Feminine energy is your open, receptive energy. So when you connect with it, you bring yourself into a state of openness and receptivity. When you're open and receptive, you allow yourself to be seen. And on top of that, it's feminine energy that's magnetic, that attracts. So when you turn on your feminine energy, you literally attract attention. So when you combine that with claiming what it is that you want to share with the world, and then making yourself a big deal, girl, you got a recipe for being seen and being that it girl. But we're not finished yet. Step number 4 is to hold yourself as whole. Now, what the hell does that mean? That means that you hold yourself as where you are in life right now and who you are in life right now as deeply, wholly enough. One of the biggest things that literally turns people's energy off is feeling like there's something wrong with you. Maybe you feel like you don't have enough followers yet and it's not okay, and you can't relax and you can't stop, or you can't own yourself until you have more followers. Or maybe you feel the same thing with your income, or if you've got debt, or the amount of money that you've got in your bank accounts, or you don't feel like you've got enough control over yourself and your habits, and that results in you feeling like you can't fully own who you are and make yourself a big deal yet. While you have this vibration going on, one of the things that a lot of people do as an unconscious strategy is make themselves invisible. So people won't see this is what's going on. This is what's happening in their life. This is who they are. Whatever you're feeling incomplete about right now is an illusion. It doesn't make you inviolable. You, who you are right now, and where you are right now in life is enough. It's okay, it's enough, and it's enough for you to share your true brilliance and gifts from. You don't need to hide, fix, or resolve anything. Sure, there are things that you might want to improve in your life, but there's nothing wrong with where you are now. So to hold yourself as whole is to literally embrace everything that you are and embrace everything in your life as it is right now and claim that it's enough. The more you can practice and understand how to own that, the more you will let your energy open up again and turn yourself back on. And step number 5, our last one, is another incredible tool for turning back on your energy and your magnetism. And this is vulnerability. Now, I'm not talking about vulnerability where you share everything that's happening in your life right now. I'm talking about the vulnerability to be okay with anything happening. When we aren't open to certain things happening, we won't let ourselves step into the thing that would risk the thing that we're not open to happening. Let me explain. If you're not open to people possibly judging you, receiving negative projections, negative criticism, maybe people seeing things that you do get wrong, then you're not going to let yourself be seen. Vulnerability is being open and vulnerable to any of those fears happening, to being criticized, to receiving negative feedback, to having trolls, to having someone close to you in your life get upset or judge you when you share what you really want to share. That's vulnerability. If you want to remove the invisibility field that you're putting around yourself, you have to be vulnerable. Something that you can do here is write down a list of all of your fears. If you do get the visibility you desire, what negative consequences might happen, and allow the possibility of each one of those things happening. If you don't, you are always going to block yourself. So these are the 5 steps that are going to help you remove that invisibility field, turn your energy back on, and allow yourself to be not only seen but magnetic in your brilliance. If you can practice even just 1, 2, or 3 of these things, you are going to start noticing shifts immediately. That invisible energy field around you is going to start lifting, and people will start noticing you, and people will start appreciating what you're sharing. And if you want to dive even deeper into this topic, I've just recorded a podcast episode where I go in much more in depth on each of these points and even include a couple of other ones. I'll put a link to it in the description. Now I would love to hear from you. Was this helpful? And if it was, let me know in the comments which one of these really hit home for you.